We know from Direct Line research that the top 3 insurance claims are for storm damage or flooding, internal water leaks, and public liability claims, such as accidents where a tenant is injured and the landlord could be liable. But what actually happens when you make a claim? Jazz, you head up Direct Line for Business, so what do your landlords do when something goes wrong?
Most of our landlords start by calling us up to notify us of an incident and to check that they've got some cover in place. Once we know that something has gone wrong, our primary concern is the extent of the damage, safety of the tenant, and how quickly we need to get a fix in place.
So when I make the call to make the claim, what actually happens?
So we would try and arrange for you to have the same claims handler from start to finish, because we don't want the landlords being passed from pillar to post and for them to have to repeat the information every time they call to talk to us. We would then, if we take a water leak for example, what we would try and do is we would ask the landlord to take some pictures of the extent of the damage, the source of the leak. That helps us to assess the scale of any fix that's required. We would ask them to arrange for 2 or 3 quotations from qualified tradespeople. We would get those sent in and we would check that the costs were in the right ballpark, and then we would initiate the fix. So we would ask them to arrange for any damage to be repaired. We would inform them that actually trace and access is also covered by the policy, so getting to the leak. If a landlord doesn't want to deal with the damage themselves, if they call us up and add the letting agent, if they're using one, to the policy, the letting agent could actually deal with the claim on their behalf.
Okay, so it can all be handled without the landlord having to get involved?
It could be, yeah.
That's great. And sometimes I hear the loss adjuster has been called out. Why is that necessary?
So a loss adjuster is a qualified professional. So when there is a large claim or something that's particularly complex, for example, something where escape of water or storm or flood damage, we would appoint a loss adjuster to go out, assess the extent of the damage. There's no charge to the landlord. It's something that we would initiate, and actually, because they're qualified and they've seen the same kind of claims repeatedly, they might actually establish some damage that the landlord themselves didn't know had occurred.
So it's good to know that when you call up, the person on the other end of the phone really is there to help you and they're not there to hinder you. And remember, when you do call, take the name of your claims handler and always have some pictures of the damage to hand, and that'll help progress your claim much more quickly.